All right, what's up, YouTubers, gunners, and all subscribers from all over the place where you guys are following from. I appreciate you guys for keeping up with this build. Had a few guys ask me, was I gonna do any more videos on the all-wheel drive? And the thing is, I was waiting to get all the parts because I didn't want to confuse anyone about how I'm gonna be going about this. On the last series, when we did the all-motor setup on the car, I had a lot of questions because I didn't detail a lot of the information, like small little detailed parts. So this time around, I'm just gonna explain it as good as I can. That way, if anybody else is gonna be doing this exact same setup, you guys will have all the information here. Keeping it simple, not breaking the bank, but also using quality parts. I had already showed you guys what transmission I was gonna go with. So what I did was add a M Factory LSD. And actually my boy, we have shit up the all-wheel drive EF hatch. You'll find him on Instagram. He's the one that did the install for me. I just had the guy that knows his stuff take care of it, and that's that. I am gonna use Honda transmission fluid. Picked it up. Also got a new pilot bearing just to be safe. You guys always have to add a pilot bearing into these JDM K24s because most of them are automatic, and the automatic does not have this here. And this is for your transmission shaft not to play once it's installed. Very important. I'm not sure if I showed it here on YouTube. I know it's on my Instagram. Our all-wheel drive rear trailing arm. Super nice trailing arm from S1 Built, and all their all-wheel drive parts are super clean. Reason I went with this setup is because it's pretty much ready to go. It is an OEM trailing arm modified for all-wheel drive. Real nice and clean. I went with this particular trailing arm because I was trying to keep the OEM concept that we've already got going on. We also did get our all-wheel drive mount set up. I believe the only thing that changes is the rear mount, but I just went ahead and got all new Hasport mounts just because I originally had innovative mounts, but they don't yet make the real or the all-wheel drive rear mount. So I just went ahead and replaced them for those. So if you guys need anything, all these parts did come from Tri-State except the trailing arms and the fuel cell. But everything else here, all my fittings, everything else came from Tri-State, the LSD also. So for the fuel, I started off with just a basic fuel cell. You guys can find these for about $100. There is a few modifications you guys will have to do if you guys are gonna go this direction. Our return line here, so we needed this adapter from dash 10 to dash 6, and this will be our return. And then once I do actually install the fuel system, I'll show some of the process you have to take in order to get it done correctly. You do need a before and after filter, AM fuel filter. We got a AM fuel pump. We're gonna go dash 10 from the pump, or sorry, from the fuel cell to the pump, and then we're gonna go dash 6 from the pump all the way to the engine. We did go ahead, kept it all AEM. Got all our fittings. I just got a bunch of extra fittings, and I wanted to show you guys this is a Teflon kit. So if you guys notice the line, PTFE, and real simple. Like this kit because not only is it better for your fuel, but real simple to install. So this fitting goes in here, and then obviously your line goes there, and it becomes now a compression fitting. So this compression fitting, it guarantees no leaks. And then obviously the Teflon lines are stronger, so they're able to withstand a higher octane fuel. So we did get ourselves some brackets also, like the ones you guys see here. So once we're done, we could bracket this stuff down. I will be adding all the part numbers to all this stuff on the fuel video. That way you guys can use it also. One of the big major things also my guy We Have Shit Up told me about, you have to swap out the fuel foam if your fuel cell does already come with it, which mine did. You guys can see it in there, but that's like real cheap foam, and it's gonna pretty much fall apart if you guys do use a higher octane. So this is E85 safe, pretty much safe for any other fuel, and it stopped the slush, so your fuel pump will always have consistent fuel. On the install video, I'm just going to be showing how I'm going to install it back here, the brackets we'll be using, how I'm going to run the lines down here, and yeah. Another thing, I'm not sure if I showed you guys about the car also. I did show it on Instagram. We went ahead and got ourselves a S2000 cluster. And this puppy's all wired in, ready to go. So I will do an install video on the S2000 cluster. I just been so busy, guys. Have no time for nothing, man. I'm trying to keep up with work, real life, YouTube, the car, the parts, just everything. So I do appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate all the positivity and all the support, man. So if it wasn't for the positivity and all the support I am getting, I probably wouldn't make any of these videos, and I probably wouldn't be spending some of this money to keep it fun for all of us. All-wheel drive is definitely something I wanted to do. Now that I'm able to do it, we're gonna go ahead and attack it. So all right, so now that we have the fuel system situated and I kind of shared a little bit of what we're doing, oh yeah, one more fuel part, which is going to be our skunk 2 fuel rail using the RDX injectors. I am trying to keep the swap as OEM as possible, only because I'm trying to reach a goal here, and the goal is to see how much power can we make out of a factory semi, factory OEM spec build. We're using mostly OEM parts besides the fuel rail, the clutch, and I think that's it as far as aftermarket. Oh yeah, and our LSD in the transmission. Also considering running the TSX header, only because the TSX header already has a 3-inch downpipe, so I don't really see it making that much more power versus a header, even though we do know a header will make us power. Still debating whether I'm gonna run the stock setup, or am I just gonna get like a nice header to get the extra horses and ponies out of it. But we'll see once we do the swap. This is just for reference. If anyone's ever gonna go all-wheel drive, all motor, you can use a TSX header with downpipe. The only thing is you have to cut the downpipe and then just slightly angle it a little bit this way, because if you put it stock, it'll hit the transfer case. You could kind of see. So if you were to get this flange straight, it'll clear the transfer case. And then also for reference, if anybody's gonna go all-wheel drive, you will need the all-wheel drive half shaft, as it is different from the RSX and the K20s. So it's gonna be an Element or CRV half shaft, just in case anybody ever does this type of swap. I am running the OEM Type R flywheel, which is 11 pounds OEM spec. I've really been wanting this flywheel just because I want to keep everything as OEM as possible. So eventually we'll make it to the track and we're just gonna see what this setup can do. We know what some setups can do, like E85, fuel rails, fuel injectors, pistons, valves, all that. We know you can go fast, but I just want to see how fast we can go stock. So I'm gonna put this transmission together. Finally, everything's the way I want it. I did get my passenger Type R seat, and we also are going to go with the SI 06 through 11 rear seat, only because we have to separate ourselves from the fuel cell when we go to the track. So this is only gonna be like track purposes. It's kind of coming together real nice. Have to install our shifter cables. We got brand new shifter cables. Here's your part number if anybody's interested in buying brand new OEM RSX shift cables. All right guys, got our transmission bolted up using factory hardware. So what I do is I try to utilize as much as a factory hardware as possible. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick. Got the transmission bolted down, but my shift bracket, I had already bought a new one before. This one's in fairly clean condition. I'm sure I could clean it up and make it look brand new. But I already had this new one here. This is from like when you take your clips on and off. But as you guys can see, it's brand new. So I just wanted to show you guys real quick how this goes a long way. So this is the factory screw right here and how it looked. And then you could just take yourself like a wire wheel and just hit it real quick, and it just makes them look way cleaner versus being a hero and buying that expensive hardware, when this hardware is probably more expensive than that shiny stuff you guys been buying. So I'll show you guys real quick how simple it is. I got this wire wheel for the drill, and then just real simple. Just like that. Got a brand new looking bolt. All right guys, just real quick, another attention to detail. That's the before. And the after. So got her all put back together. Back with the OEM detail. Using OEM hardware. That's why it's always good to save all your hardware, guys, because you just never know when you're gonna use it. It's better than running around looking for it. You might already have it in your box. So I am gonna go to Honda and get these brand new nuts right here, and then I do have the 17 that goes down into the transmission with the perfect lane. And then I'm gonna be ordering from Honda the 17 long bolt that goes through the mounts, because when you buy your mount kit, they do send you hardware, but I hate this hardware, man. It's something about it, it just looks crazy. You got these construction looking bolts on your engine mounts, which I think looks kind of crazy. Never been a fan of these, so it's always best to just use your OEM hardware. Everything looks cleaner, everything looks uniform, and it just looks real nice. So there it is, guys. Any questions, let me know. I'm gonna try to give you guys all the information I'm getting from this all-wheel drive stuff. Started a little bit on my suspension, nothing too crazy. Just put the billet forks. This bar is gonna have to come down right here, so if anybody's interested, let me know. Cover shipping and you guys can have it. I had it because it was matching my lower control arms, but right here is where the rear diff will be mounted, so we won't be able to use it anymore. Alright guys, so here's our final product. I went ahead and put our harness on here. You guys know I'm a real big fan of OEM parts, not just because they're OEM, but OEM are the parts that seem to always work. They've never failed me. They've done well over and over and over again, so I really like OEM for that reason. But we went ahead and got a Rye-Wire engine harness from one of my good buddies, Jay Lara, on Instagram. I appreciate you for this harness, bro. Like I said, big OEM fan, especially on wiring. Wiring is big for me because a lot of companies use real cheap wiring. But I was really impressed with the quality of Rye-Wire's harness. Real clean. Really like their wrapping that they use. Real nice and neat, the way they make the whole harness. I also like how they make their tabs white with the labels. Some harnesses make them yellow, so it looks kind of offish a little bit. But I think the harness made it look super clean. You can't even tell the harness is on there. And then went ahead and added our clutch cover, OEM piece, and a little bit more OEM. We added our half shaft cover. So just trying to keep adding to the engine. I think this is pretty much it. Now we can drop it in. I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like with the harness on there. And then I do have one question for you guys. Should we keep the RRC cover and then just cut it real nice and neat right around here so we can keep our line? This one gonna have to cut like right here, or should we just leave it off and show off the Skunk 2 fuel rail? Let me know what you guys think. Comment, subscribe, and we will keep you guys updated on the K24 all-wheel drive build.